All right, today we are going to be working on this spline bracket project. Here's all of our measurements, and we want to place the largest face of this one on the XZ plane as per the instructions, otherwise known as the top plane. All right, so we're going to open ourselves up with SOLIDWORKS, kind of open up a new part. I'm going to open mine up in ANSI spec, and once it opens up, I'm going to open a sketch on that XZ plane, aka the top plane. I'm going to start this off with the outer shape of the polygon. I'm going to choose that. Going to make sure it's giving me an 8-sided polygon. I need to adjust it right there with the arrows. Just kind of go right off my origin point. There we go. I'm going to use my selection tool to tell it that I want this top line to be horizontal. That way the polygon will be lined up. And I'm going to use my dimension tool to say how large I want it. And it's supposed to be 4 inches. Excellent. Now I have a fully defined sketch, so I can turn this into a feature. Here in my features menu, I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to extrude it in the reverse direction for a thickness of 0.5 inches. There we go. Now on top of this, I'm going to add my next extrusion, which is this circular portion that pokes out the center. So that's just going to be a new sketch laid right on the top surface of it. And it is, let's see, so new sketch. There we go. It's going to be a circle. And I'm going to dimension this circle with a 2-inch diameter. Excellent. And it says I have a fully defined sketch. So I can now turn this into a feature by extruding it. And the hole height is 1.75, but we have to subtract out this 1/2 inch that we already have on the base. So it's going to be 1.25. Looks good. Now I want to punch this hole right through the center. Okay, so I'll grab myself a new sketch. I'll slap it right on this front surface. I'll start off with a circle right in the center origin point once again. And I'll grab myself a center rectangle, which I can start right from the origin point. And that's approximately the shape I'm going to be looking for this hole. I'm going to use my Smart Dimension tool. The diameter of the center hole is supposed to be 1 inch. Overall width of this notch is 1.5. And the height of it is 0.25. There we go. Now all I have to do is zoom in here and clean up some of these extra lines that I don't want. I'm going to use my trim tool in the power trim mode and just start clicking and dragging my cursor through here to get rid of the stuff I don't want. Got to make sure to get these little guys here. Excellent. That cleaned it up quite nicely, but I have an underdefined sketch. See how these lines are blue, they're not black. All right, so the computer's looking for a little bit more information. So I will select all 4 of these horizontal ones. I'm going to tell it to make them all equal. And now I have a fully defined sketch. So now I'm going to turn this sketch into my next feature. I'll go up into my features menu and I'm going to make it a cut this time instead of an extrusion. So I select cut and I can see it's cutting down into the part, which is what I want. And I'm going to set this to blind and set it to the depth of cut that I want, because I do not want this to go all the way through. I only want it to go through this round extrusion up to our backing plate. So that will be a depth of 1 1/4 inch. There we go. And go back to my isometric view. And it's looking pretty good. grab myself my top view. Now I just need to make this series of holes going around in a circular pattern. But where am I going to put my first hole to reference off of? Well, the trick here is we're told that all 8 of these angles are 45 degrees. Okay, so if I cut 45 in half, I get 22 and a half. So from a horizontal line up to here, I have 22 and a half in my drawing. Not a problem. So I'm going to come over to my drawing and I'm going to give myself a new sketch. I'm going to put it on this original polygon surface. And let's see, new sketch. There we go. In my surface. Now I need a reference line. I need a center line. So I'm going to come up here to my line tool, use the drop-down menu, choose center line. Starting at my origin point, I'm going to click and hold, drag it out, make sure it's nice and horizontal. Perfect. I'm going to come back to my origin point, I'm going to click and drag out here. There we go. Now I have 2 reference lines, and see how they're dotted. These are not going to be a part of the feature. These are just for construction. These are just reference lines. Use my Smart Dimension tool, grab both of them, and set the angle between them at 22.5, because that's half of this 45 over here in the drawing. So I know I'm going to make this circle along this line. My first cut is going to be along this line. So I'll just grab my circle tool, put it on the line somewhere, and I'll make a little circle. I use my Smart Dimension to now say, okay, how far along this line is it? Well, this reference circle down in the drawing has a diameter of 3 inches, which means it has a radius of half 3 or 1.5. So from the center of this new cut that I'm making to my origin point, it needs to be 1.5 inches. Now, do not put it horizontally like this. See, if I move my cursor over, now it's angled. See how the value changes? You need the angled one. This measurement needs to follow the same angle as the reference line that your new cut is on. And it needs to be 1.5 inches from the origin. Perfect. Now I just need to say how large I want the circle itself to be. And those are going to be 0.375. All right. And I have a fully defined sketch, once again, placing that cut right where I want it. So now that I have it, I can turn it into a feature. It's going to be a cut. And it's just going to go right through everything. Perfect. There's my cut. Looks pretty good. So now I just need this to repeat in a circular pattern around the part. So I currently have it highlighted down here, which is good. So I'll come up here under linear pattern, use the drop down, choose circular pattern. It's asking me what direction I want it to go. Well, I want it to go in a circle. And how many of them do I want? I can adjust this over here. I want 8. That looks perfect. And there's my part. And for an isometric view, you can go up into your view orientation and you can choose your ISO, just like that. To get our measurements, we can just come over, expand our annotations, right click on notes and say show feature dimensions. And you can play around with these, clean them up, move them around wherever you want them to be. If you need them, they're always there for you. For this particular example, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to hide them, go back to that ISO view, and we will look at applying some material and evaluating our center of gravity. If you wanted to assign a material to it, so you can do all your inertia, to edit the material, go up into edit, come down to your appearances, into your material, and I'm just going to use the same aluminum we've been using for these examples. But you can put whatever you want or whatever you need in there. So now it's made of aluminum. To evaluate its center of gravity and its mass, go into evaluate, hit mass properties, and there you are. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you're having a good day.